Hi, Chris. Thanks for your time today to review one of the songs from the upcoming album, Volume 1 of This Is Love. The song I'd like to ask you some questions about is called Love Suffers. Can you give us just a brief overview of what it means?
Yeah, this one's a little bit complicated. This one I spent a couple of years writing. Now, the majority of that was probably done in the first four months, but after that was a lot of tweaking and refinement. Um, there's a couple potential meanings here, very common with the songs that I wrote, or at least that was my attempt. It might sound like you're singing to a person, another individual, expressing your love for that individual. And I think that if you listen into it in that form, it definitely fits, right? The meaning is there, and everything makes sense, right? But what it actually was written for was actually looking in the mirror and speaking to your own subconscious, and your subconscious reaching out, begging for love of self, and to be okay with yourself, and to love yourself as a whole, and be accepting. The fact that it's never far away, it's closer than you think, and it's there in the beginning, it's there in the end.
So, Chris, I have a couple questions here on the song, and my first one is, how does love suffer? Can you give me? You're almost making love sound like a person, a personality into itself. That's the feeling I get when I read the lyrics. I could be wrong, but if you could just share, how does it suffer?
Yeah, I've tried to define what love is in many different ways, and I think this song touches on all kinds of it. You can change it for different ways, and can mean different things. But if you think of love as an entity, or if you think of it, just in that kind of visual or perspective, it kind of changes how we think about it and how we view it and what it is and what not. And that love itself can actually have emotions and feelings. And the love between two people, goes through many different things, the good times, the bad times, all that kind of thing. I'm upset, I'm angry, there's just so much, right? So if you think of it as a personality, it does at times suffer, and because it goes through hard times, especially when you're if it's your subconscious, and that's what the love is, or where the love's coming from. It's actually suffering without you having that personal self-love.
And how does love fail?
How does love fail? Um, you know, we've all been there where we feel that love failed us, and that we had love of another individual, or love of a thing, or whatever the case may be. And if we can feel that we've been let down, that, and maybe we even question, is it really there? And there are times where the light turns to dark, and this is just a reality of life, that we feel this way sometimes. We don't have to feel bad about feeling that way, because this is a feeling. This is a sensation that we have, but trying to be able to understand and appreciate it, I think is important, and recognizing that it does exist.
Chris, just a couple more questions. You have a line here where you sing, "And what you could find is cold in the arms of the many." What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so you know we go out, we're looking for love, and we have all these expectations, and sometimes maybe we want to rush things a little bit. And what we find in the arms of many, meaning many people, and many situations, and many experiences, it's never what we were looking for. I spent a lot of time looking for love myself, my one true love, and it was so difficult to be able to find. It's easy to become discouraged. and sometimes the world can be cold, and sometimes we can not be treated well in any kind of relationship. And it just, again, it recognizes the reality that this is something that happens to us all, and it's not just us, right? It's not just me that it happens to. It happens to all of us, and we're all in it together in that way.
And one final question. You sing, "Love will reach you no matter end or far."
So, love will reach us even if it might be at the very beginning of our life, it might be partway through, it might be towards the end of our life, and at some point in time, we will find love, and we have to be confident that we will get there. We have to be patient. We have to take time. We have to find the right individual, and that goes back to the song "Fate and Destiny." But yeah, and it might be nearby, and it might be far away, and it might be right in front of us, or we might have some hunting to do, or some time to wait to be able to find that. So it's actually referencing the beginning and the end of life, and it might be very near front of us, or it might be very distant.
Thanks again for your time, Chris, for reviewing the song "Love Suffers" for the upcoming Volume 1 of This Is Love.
Thank you, Mark.
Love